I'm Brandon, and this is George, and this is another Conversations with Friends, and we're hanging out, talking tools.
You bet. And I've enjoyed my stay here at Brandon's place here in Iron River. And I just came up from Oshkosh, spent the week in Oshkosh, and spent a week getting to Oshkosh. Went by Oshkosh via Montana and North Dakota and Minnesota.
Yeah, and then another week of traveling to
the tractor show down at Burnett, Wisconsin.
Yep. And then home?
Then home after about 3 weeks and a few days off away from home, and I'm already missing my wife a bunch.
And your monkey.
Yeah.
And your pet monkey.
Oh yeah, yes, Clover, she's probably having a good time without me being there.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, let's talk about some tools.
Shovels and things out there. I was talking about shovels, and I said, I kind of, yeah, got a little concrete on it, but it can be dressed up.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, well, I'm trying to find the solid wood deal. I said, I've got one out there. I didn't even see it was covered up with so much shit.
There's all this stuff all over. Yeah. That's what those flea markets are good at.
Yeah.
Hiding treasures.
There.
That one's got concrete on it too. That looks like a late model one.
It's got a stamp right there,
Wait,
but you
let's see.
can't read it.
What was the one that was stamped earlier that we saw? This one, right? Zenith. Does that say Zenith on it? It kind of looks the same size.
No.
Does not say Zenith. I don't know what it says, but scoop shovels. So, George, we're recording now, but I just want to let you know that or I wanted to let them know that this is like our thing.
Oh, yeah.
The D-handled shovel thing is
Solid wood D-handle.
solid wood D-handle shovel is a George and I thing. We're into it.
Can I see all those?
Oh yeah, we can see them. We got a pile of those.
We're not only into shovels, but
Cleavers.
cleavers.
George brought a bunch of this stuff for me to reference and maybe buy. This is a number 100 F-Dick cleaver. Good kitchen-sized cleaver or small butcher's.
Pretty good steel in it.
Yeah, that's nice. It's in good shape. They always, have wobbles in these if they've been abused or something, and the spines get all beat up.
It just needs to be clean.
Yeah, it's great.
Put it back to work.
Yeah,
Sharpen.
for sure. Let's go through these axes. You want to talk to me about these?
Yeah.
Show
I've
me.
got one here that's a project axe I didn't complete. Got one of your wedges in it.
Oh, sure temper.
Yeah. Straight handle.
Yeah. It's in really good shape.
Not a bad head. Not a bad head.
No.
And this is a no-name.
No pick head. Yeah.
Yeah. Just somebody might need it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a genuine Vaughn Value brand, 3.5 pound. And that was
Mick Lean.
no
Mick Lean. It's like McLean?
McLean.
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 Yeah, so like
McLean,
last name.
Yeah, and that axe I tuned him as he was my neighbor.
He was your neighbor?
He was my neighbor. His name was his wife's name Peggy. She's still alive, but anyway, he passed away, and I was up there at his house. His son was that big old pine tree fell across their driveway, and he was up there cleaning it up, and I stopped and visited and introduced myself to him, and we got to talking and stuff, and he said, I said, he still got that Model A Ford? He said, yeah, Dad had that for years and years and years. And it's got flat tires and all this stuff. It had on them dollies you move around.
Oh yeah, roll around the shop.
Yeah, and the tires were flat on top of
On top of the dollies.
And so I saw that axe there, and I said, I think I tuned that up for him long years ago. And he said, well, just take it.
Did he stamp this in there, or did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
he stamped it in.
Yeah.
He worked out at the FAA there in Oklahoma City.
Where?
At the FAA
Oh,
Academy.
the FAA.
Yeah.
So.
This is a keen cutter. Pretty good old head.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great handle, but pretty good head.
We don't judge handles. Well, this is terrible.
Yeah.
The grain is definitely the opposite direction, and it's got terrible run out.
Now this has got great grain. Look at that grain on that handle.
Oh yeah, and a thick palm swell.
Yeah. That's a
National?
Plum National, 3.5 pound probably.
Yeah, 4. It says stamp 4 on there.
It's
Right above
lost some over years.
Yeah,
I think.
so
yeah,
it's probably 3 now.
yeah,
3.5.
But yeah, you can. The 4s are taller in here than the 3.5s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a new old stock I got somewhere. It still had the price tag on it. It could be
Yeah.
$40 and
50 cents, 53 cents. True temper.
yeah.
Oh, it's a Woodings Verona stamped manufactured head.
Wow. Yep.
So this is 2010.
I thought they said USA.
US 10.
Oh, US 10.
Yep. Woodings Verona made it.
For True Temper.
True temper, yeah. Yep.
So
So
they went out of business, or
I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe Woodings Verona might have. I thought True Temper was Mexican manufactured.
this
now,
is
but
a mark B24. I don't know what that
That's
means.
wood slasher. Pretty sure. Yeah. It's got ridges in the eye.
It's pretty darn big.
B24. So it would have been a paper label.
Okay, it's got good meat to it.
Yeah.
And
This reminds me of that double bit that was in the shop
Yep.
that you
Yep.
were like, oh, look at this. This is a nice double bit that I've got by my desk.
Here's a really neat old Stanley tool,
Mm-hmm.
and a really lightweight handle. It's not great grain structure, but I don't
Oh,
know.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Feels good. Thinned out. Octagonal a little bit.
Well, that's all. Well, I got axes in the truck here.
You got axes in the truck? All right, you're going to grab them?
Yeah. 4.5 pound plum on a 30-inch heritage handle of yours.
Yeah. Stamped. What is the stamp?
4.5 pound.
Or no, the.
Oh, that's the Topeka and the Santa Fe Railroad.
Yep.
That's the old railroad runs through Oklahoma, of course.
Yep. Down by George, where George lives. This is a 30C on this. Head's pretty true to weight. Looks like it was used for a hammer more than an axe.
And there's another one of your handles. That's a key
Key
cutter.
cutter?
Probably a 4 pound, maybe at one time. I'm not sure. Can't find any. Oh, it's on here on key cutters. It's not
I don't see
there.
anything, yeah.
Not
But
there.
it's a king cutter with bevels.
Yeah. Pretty nice head.
Yeah, George rasps these off and rolls them around instead of leaving them as a square. So you can kind of see. It's like a scroll knob then. Very cool shape.
Yeah, I like to make sure they have a little character. You know?
And they look finished then.
Yeah. I haven't done anything to this end, but this is a house handle, I think.
And that looks like a house handle. Yeah.
And that's a no-name, heavily pitted, but still good axe head. Little rust on it got on the way up here.
Yeah. Oop. Looks like a cherry wedge. Or it's dyed.
Walnut, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
This is that shovel that was sitting over there.
Yeah.
This one's a wild one.
We got to figure out what
It's
the
a
age
split.
is.
It's a split handle, so they saw cut this and then steamed it and then put it around a mold, clamped it, let it sit for a few days.
And reinforced it with steel.
Steel on the ends, yep.
It's a patented system. It's got a patent number on it.
Yep. 1907 patent and a very cool shape to this
Yep.
scoop.
Let's see.
And it says Bantam on it. I can't believe how loose that is for how the handle's
I
shaped
know,
and everything. It's
yeah.
weird. That's how handles break.
Yeah. Yeah, that the wood has shrunk over time.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose.
I've got a shovel in here that
Is this that small one you want to talk about?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Look at this guy. So traditionally, or I guess not traditionally, the common size is this, which is just a normal.
Well, that shovel, that small one is this. What did I do with it? Oh, there, I'll take it right here.
Oh, you're saying the shape of the shovel?
Yeah, the shape of the shovel.
So I guess, yeah, we can
More
compare
like
shovel
this.
to shovel. No, we're talking about the top, but yeah. So this is the, right,
Full size version.
full size version, but you've got this top part. It's got this size. This is the size that's most of them. And then George found this guy
In Florida.
in Florida, which is this. It's pretty cracked up, but it's really cool because it's smaller.
It's like almost like half size or
Yeah,
two-thirds.
Yeah, 2/3 size. But the top is.
And I don't know if it's designed for a child or
Yeah, or yeah, maybe
pygmies or what.
Could be.
I think it's probably a child shovel.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it was a tight quarter shovel. Maybe it was for mining
And
in the mine.
that's genuine Ames.
Yeah, But you could use it with 3 fingers in a mine or something. I don't know.
And look how it's
Riveted
down here.
Yeah, so it's riveted through the front and then 4 rivets in the back.
It's not welded at all, is it?
No, it's just riveted construction. And it says O Ames. Was it O Ames?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oaks.
Oaks, that's right. We talked about that last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oaks Ames. And I saw the statue, or not the statue, the monument, the Ames Monument in Wyoming.
Wow.
Last week.
I didn't not know it was out there.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, and just like big blocks of granite.
Yeah.
Just plopped in the middle of nowhere.
I didn't know he was heavily involved in a political situation back in the Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln called on that man to finish the railroad, connect the two, get it done, and that probably took a lot of activities that are probably frowned upon nowadays.
You see any more shovels in there? I don't believe there is.
Just a trench shovel.
Yeah, that's a World War II vintage.
I don't see any more shovels in there.
Okay. I guess I'll have that one at home that I'm trying to pedal to the...
What is this? Just a little bitty garden hoe?
That's my raker to pull stuff out of the back of the truck with. I don't have to crawl up in there. I can reach up there with that and pull things out.
Yeah, that works. It looks like it's 100 years old.
It's pretty old.
That's funny.
Then we got several different styles. Those 3 down there are kind of interesting.
Yeah, we got the scoop, big scoop, deep scoop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good handle. Really
Yeah.
good.
This one is the kind of a, I wouldn't say a replacement, but someone took it off.
I took it off.
Oh, you took it off.
Yeah, because
George took it off.
the head was an old scoop shovel that had been heavily abused.
Yeah. So.
But the handle was in great shape, so I said, hey, maybe you can use that.
Yeah, especially for getting this angle right. We've got a couple examples where I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, those 3 down there on the end there are what you call full bent or whatever.
Yeah, so these don't just bend like this. They bend back like the S. Like this is a single bend.
Right. And I tried to replace a handle like that. I had a blank. Of course, it wasn't solid wood D, but I could never figure out how they ever put that together. Because you can't get it to go in there. I couldn't.
It's almost like it was spread apart, and then they did it and then riveted it. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they had the metal.
I mean, judging by the creases
Yep.
on each side, I'd say it was cranked down in some sort of press, and that was the same contour.
You know, talk about that red one there a little bit, because it's kind of different. Doesn't have a name on it at all, yeah.
Zenith. So this is a Zenith, which would be
Square point.
Yeah.
The handle looks like it was a solid wood D, but then it came out with a piece of wood that's the grain's running this way rather than this way. So it's kind of a combination.
I'm sold on the idea that someone made this, but George thinks that it possibly is original.
Well,
We don't really know.
It looks just like it's riveted, the same rivet.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
A skilled craftsman could have done that.
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
But
and it's got a little movement to it, which is good because when you're using it.
Yeah.
But this is in good shape. It's got paint on it still.
Yeah.
You know, and Zenith. Who knows how old this is, but you know.
It was personalized by somebody at one time.
Yep. ROL Co. So a business of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So yeah.
I think I brought almost every one of my solid wood D handles up there that I've collected over the years.
Really? These are all of them?
Yeah.
And then you're giving this one away?
I bought 2 at Oshkosh this year.
Yeah.
Just a week ago.
Shovel buyer. Traveling shovel buyer. This one you're taking to, you want to talk about where you're taking this tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm taking that down to Burnett, Wisconsin to the Dodge County Antique Power Club show. The 150 horsepower case steam traction engine is going to be there again this year. It was there last year. It's the only one in the world built by an individual by the name of Corey Anderson from Andover, South Dakota originally. And that's the home base for the machine, but he lives out in Flathead Lake, Montana.
Yeah.
Runs about 5 different businesses for him.
Yeah, and a young guy.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks like it would scoop coal into a steam engine fire.
Quite well, yeah.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
well.
So George is going to take that down with him.
No name on
Oh, we got an airplane. Yeah, there's an airplane.
it. Yeah.
He's coming in to land, I think. going too fast to land.
I think it's a home built.
Maybe he is gonna land. I mean, that is
Yeah.
half mile away.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's going down.
It sounded good.
So, I don't know what got me into shovels. I started with axes more or less because my granddad inspired me to do the axe thing. I mean, he had an old axe that I inherited, and then I went to an auction when I was pretty young. I don't remember. I bought a Plum autograph. I thought, man, this is different. Got the Plum autograph.
Yeah, fancy.
Yeah,
It's like the King Ranch.
Yeah.
You know? It's the King Ranch of axes.
Anyway, after that, I just kind of kept my eye open and garage sales, estate sales,
Yeah.
flea markets, whatever.
Well, you've spent a lot of time with axes and shovels in your hand.
Yeah.
Both of those things. So it makes sense that you've, made a hobby of both of them.
Yeah.
If you're gonna spend a lot of time with a tool in your hand, you might as well find one that you like.
Then I got older and I bought me a tractor with a backhoe.
yeah, right. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. and kept the shovel collection, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're heading down to Barnett, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
How long are you there for?
It's the whole weekend deal.
Yeah.
It was a good show last year, and my friend from Mulhall, Oklahoma, who is a steam engine guy down there, he'll be up again, and he's going to camp out in my camper again.
Sweet.
And we will have a good time down there playing with the steam engine. They pulled last year at the track. They have a really nice pull track, and they pulled 67,000 pounds of sled down there.
Wow.
And that steam engine really didn't run out of power. It ran out of traction. It was just sitting there digging a hole in the track.
Yeah. I mean,
those wheels are 8-foot.
And it's not like they've got big lugs on them. They're just little risers. Yeah. It's really, the traction really is the weight.
Yeah, 70,000 pounds.
Yeah, 70,000 pounds. That's a heavy piece of machinery, and it's easy to get traction with it when it's that heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff, my friend Jeff, he has a farm there in the Mulhall, Oklahoma, just north of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And he raises a little wheat and harvests it and threshes it the old time way, because his grandparents homesteaded in Oklahoma, and they threshed wheat back in the day when steam engines were the main thing.
Yeah. So he does an example or tribute to them.
He's trying to really create a museum, a working museum, a living museum, if you want to call it that, with all kinds of old equipment. He's got a great big old sawmill and several
belt driven.
Yeah, several steam engines and some plows that are old and stuff like that.
Huh. Sweet.
I know he bought a caboose, but he's never got it home.
I always wonder how that works. How do they ship those?
The caboose?
Or train cars in general. Like, there's a couple places around here that've got train cars just sitting in their yard.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they get that?
Well,
how do they ship those?
a low boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got
a crane to get it on the low boy and
Yeah. Well,
crane
some
to
of
get it
those
off?
low boys, what they put the steam engine on, they go pretty flat. To the
Oh,
ground.
yeah,
You
step
can
deck.
Just winch
Yeah,
them on.
yeah, it drops the nose on it. And,
just
yeah,
winch 'em on,
yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's how you get it off.
Sure.
Yeah. I always thought it'd be cool to have one. Some sort of train car.
Yeah.
Even if it was just a passenger car or cargo.
Yeah.
But so you're not going to Lumberjack.
No, it's
show
same
this
time
year?
as the tractor show down there.
Yeah.
So,
And I won't be going to Lumberjack show. All of these events we're talking about are going to be
of course,
past.
that's where we met.
Yeah, Lumberjack show.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these events that we're talking about right now are going to be past by the time this video comes out. But yeah, we met at World Lumberjack Championship,
Yeah.
or Lumberjack World
Yeah,
Championship.
glad to see you. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hayward, Wisconsin. It's been going on there for over 60-some years now.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I was selling there as a vendor, selling axes and those hats and handles and just that would have been 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And we and George was there hanging out. And he figured he'd stop in, and just shoot the shit for a little bit, and
I had an axe with me that
Yeah.
had a carrier, a leather.
That was a Plum
Yeah,
National.
the small, with the oak handle.
Yep.
Really curvy oak handle on a little boy's axe.
Yeah.
and then you started selling the swing type carrying rig right after that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you just hung out and helped me run the booth and just hung out because I went to a lot of bumping the camera.
And your dad was there too.
Yeah, when did my dad go that year or his second year? I can't remember. He was there for one of the years.
Yeah,
but he just drove up for the day and then helped me pack up and left. You know, but I forgot he came with.
Had a trailer. You had a trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had a trailer. That was the second year then.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that I got that little enclosed trailer behind the caravan.
My gosh, it was huge. I mean, packed like to the
perfectly.
You had to put it in there just.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it goes with trade shows when you do them enough. But I drug that thing all over the country.
Yeah.
That was a cool little trailer. You couldn't sleep in it. It wasn't even 6 foot long.
No,
it was like 5 foot. I couldn't. I had to buy all new plastic tables because we had 6 foot tables. I had to buy the ones that fold in half to 3 foot just because of that trailer. But yeah, it was wild. But yeah, Lumberjack World Championship that's going on this next weekend, which is very close to us here in Iron River, about an hour away.
Yeah.
But I will not be going. I've got stuff to do. If I do go, it'll be on a whim because I'm bored, which rarely happens, and I'll zip down there for the day or whatever.
Yeah. I started going to that 15 years ago or maybe 20. I don't know how long ago that I went to the first one that I went to, and I kept seeing these guys with these racing axes, that 5.5 pound or whatever, with about a 28 or 30 inch handle on them or so. And so one year there was a guy there, one of the competitors from Minnesota. I was going to call his name, but I can't right now. But anyway, he was selling handles for racing axes. So I bought a handle for him because I thought it was a pretty neat handle. I didn't have a racing axe, but I had a handle. And so then I told one of the competitors from New York, Cortland, New York, a gal from Cortland, New York, that had she actually had a traveling racing axe or competition axe museum.
Oh, crazy.
He had a trailer.
Oh,
she had some really neat stuff in there.
Huh.
And I told her, I said, I need a racing axe. She said, well, I'll check around with some of these guys and see if they got anything for sale. So she come back there and she said, Dale Beams from New Zealand has one he'll sell you. I said, okay, that's it. She brought this axe out and it had, the name on it was Pro Axe. It was made in Australia, but they were out of business. They didn't make them anymore. And the handle was Australian wood, or I don't know what they call it, some kind of gum.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's like red gum, or is it red gum? Spotted gum. There's a bunch of different gums. Gum trees are popular over there.
And they were pretty good handles.
It's very, very heavy, very strong. It's similar to oak in the denseness or heaviness.
And it was split, cracked. He said, I broke this handle, and I said, I can fix that. So he made me a price, and I bought it from him, and then I took his handle, the handle that was in there out, and put the handle in that I bought. I still have the other handle, and I put the epoxied it back together, so it's a good pattern to turn another handle from. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's when I bought a book by a guy by the name of Alan Klinman, I think his name was. He wrote Axe Makers of North America, I think it was called. And it's a really highly prized book. It's not very many
copies
published. And I've misplaced it, I've lost it or whatever, but then a fellow out in Washington State, and he had a huge collection of axes, like 1,500 or 2,000 axes. And Alan Klinman, because he told Alan, said, well, you missed a bunch of these manufacturers that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And Alan said, well, you need to write the addendum to my book, or the second edition or whatever. So he did.
Oh, sweet.
And I got that book too. But and I think he's still alive. I was trying to call his name here, but
you told me, and I can't remember where it is. Yeah,
every once in a while. But
you've been out there.
No, I never did go there. He's the last town on the interstate, westernmost interstate. What's it before you get
94?
to Canada?
Oh, I-5.
I-5, I guess.
Yeah, going north.
Is
Is it I have?
it Blaine, Washington?
Okay.
It's the same.
Yeah, I think Blaine, Washington rings a bell.
And it's the same town that the silver streak or silver or something knives are made at.
Okay.
Really nice knives. So that's it. It's Blaine, I believe.
Blaine, yeah. Blaine, Washington. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess we didn't get to hang out last year, but we hung out the year prior.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like hopefully a yearly thing, but we try to meet up. I'm hoping to get down to Mustang, Oklahoma.
Make another sachet down to Texas or maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, run down to Texas and be who knows when. But, you know.
You don't want to repeat the thing you did when you left the house, of course.
No, not at all. We won't tell the internet what that was. No, I know now. Yeah. I won't do that again. Yeah. But, yeah, George has got a little farm, I guess, or a little piece of proper land, plot of land, I guess, that he's got down there in dirt road, red dirt country.
Yep. Red Dirt Rangers is a local music group there, and everything's Red Dirt something. Red Dirt Septic Service. We got Red Dirt this, Red Dirt that.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to a playlist on my phone that's called Red Dirt Country. So it's country music from the area, from Texas and northern Texas and southern Oklahoma, and or I guess all Oklahoma. But well, do you want to say goodbye to the video? Yeah. Do you want to say anything? You want to talk about anything else before we go?
I'm slowing down on collecting stuff for sure.
Yeah.
And, I have an antique tractor collection. I've found a young man that likes to restore antique tractors, so I've made a deal with him to just give him some tractors because obviously I'm not going to get to them in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got 16 more years to go. I'm planning on. So
he's 84. So 16 more years.
So I'm not sure I got the energy to really jump in on a major restoration project. But I got a yard full of tractors, and I said, time to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. So you're kind of consolidating, moving stuff around.
Getting somebody else a chance to keep the ball rolling, so to speak.
That's one thing with these collections. You asked me about, we were talking about the collections I'm buying earlier.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's people that are just like, I collected them, and sometimes it's like, I'll keep 10% of the ones that I have collected because those are the ones that mean something, or they're my father's, or they just are special to me.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times,
I got a whole wall full in my house, and various other.
Those are the special ones.
And then I've got a whole bunch out in my shop too that I could have loaded up but didn't.
Yeah. So a lot of times with the collections, it's just folks wanting to, they're like, I'm never going to get to it, and I want to pass it on to somebody else, and then we're the
conduit.
Yeah, the conduit to get it to people who want to use it or restore it or swing it or whatever.
Get involved.
Hang it on the wall. Get involved in axes. Yeah. There's a lot of folks in our Whiskey River ecosystem who are wanting to learn about axes.
Yeah.
And use axes.
Of course, they always say the hammer was the very first tool that human evolution ever used, but shortly thereafter, right around the same time, hammers were being developed, axes were being developed.
Yeah.
Stone axes, and then bronze axes and copper axes. You just look at the guy they found up in the mountains of Austria or wherever it was. What's his name? He had a copper axe, and they don't tell him. They know about what age he was when he died.
Carbon told him.
Yeah.
Carbon test. Yeah, and he had an axe with him, huh?
And he had an arrowhead in his back too. He was shot with an arrow.
And that's how he died.
Yeah.
And he was covered up with snow and ice. And
these hikers were up there in the mountains in the warm year, and the snow and ice melted away from them.
And they're like, oh my gosh, we found another hiker. We found a dead body. And it's a guy from thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Wild.
And they're still analyzing himself. Parts of him.
Yeah. Keeping him in a cooler, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping him nice and cold.
But yeah, that's I always enjoyed anything a tool that had a wooden handle that was used for, like scythes or cutting hay or cutting wheat, and sickles they called them, or cradles they called them.
Mm-hmm.
When I was visiting Kentucky years ago, they had all kinds of tools back there. tobacco harvesting tool with this tobacco knife, has a handle in it, and a cradle to harvest grain with.
One wooden handled tool I have not talked to you about that I'm kind of working on. There's a lady I was in contact with last year that I think I'm going to start pursuing this year, and she makes brooms.
Yeah.
From start to finish, like they grow it and then
broom corn.
Yeah, and it's funny because we have, I don't know if you saw the broom at work leaned against the workbench, but it's it's just a natural broom, right? Wooden handle. Yeah. And we had that in the background of a TikTok video, and someone was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you have that old of a broom?"
Yeah.
People thought that it was
ancient.
Yeah, like 100-year-old broom. It's like, no, dude, I just bought this from the hardware store. They still make these.
Yeah.
But we're talking about possibly carrying those in our store.
Several tractor shows I go to, antique tractor clubs have broom makers at the show making brooms.
Oh yeah.
And we had a fellow in our community down there in south of Oklahoma City that had his grandfather's broom making equipment, and he made brooms. His grandfather was trained to make brooms and he was in a blind institution, and as a blind man.
Oh yeah.
They taught him to build his own broom making equipment and make brooms. And he's totally blind. And this kid that has that.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much resilience that
I got
man
one
has.
broom that he made.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
I don't know if he's still making brooms or if he's even still alive. I call him a kid because he's younger than I am, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably a grandpa.
Yeah, he's probably 70 or so.
Yeah.
Maybe now.
Yeah.
But
it's all in context of when you met him or when you heard about him. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. Name's Kevin Labuda. Kevin Labuda is, he has an antique automobile that had belonged to his grandparents. I can't remember the brand name of the car, but when his grandparents got married back in the day, 1920s or somewhere, they drove that car to the Garden of the Gods on their honeymoon. And so Kevin and his wife drove that car
to the Garden of the Gods. Wow.
Recreated the trip and took lots of photos and things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he said, I'll never do that again. Like to burn our feet off because the heat coming up from the engine.
Right. Running down an asphalt highway. Yeah. Slow, but revved up. Yeah. Yeah, they're not made for modern. It's funny because there's a local guy, I don't remember his name, Joseph's dad. He's Joey, his dad calls him Joe. I don't know what to reference him to. I have him on Facebook, but he's a local firewood producer here up the road, and
some antique cars.
And his dad's got some antique cars. He's got some antique cars, and his dad stopped by in a early brass radiator, one. And when he left here, he was heading up to Port Wing, like you and I went to, and we were behind him. And it's funny because you're like riding behind him. And it looks like a horse and buggy. Yeah. If you told me, it's a horse and buggy, I'd be like, yep.
No horse in front.
There's no horse in front of it. It's just it's just the engine. So that's really cool. Yeah. And
was it a Ford? You think? Or?
It was a Ford. Yeah. He's got a couple of those, and
I think the brass era of the Fords ended in about 1918, 19, somewhere along in there, and they went to.
I want to say he said 16 was the year of it, but I don't know. But yeah, it basically looks like a carriage. Yeah. It's got like canvas or whatever, and all that. It's got interesting pedals, like the way the pedals are.
Yeah, Model T has what's called planetary transmission. It's got 3 pedals, and you got one pedal selects low, neutral, and high. The other pedal selects reverse. From neutral, you can only get the reverse end from neutral, and the other pedal's a brake.
And so the more you push on forward drive, the faster you go.
You get 2.
The throttle's on the side.
You got a throttle.
Yeah, hand throttle. Yeah.
But you got 2 gears.
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped by and explained it. I was like, man, this thing's complicated. And also, I was like, do you ever get in your other car and just slam on the brake pedal on accident because you think it's the accelerator because it's on that side?
Right.
He's like, yeah.
And then on the emergency brake on a T model Ford, most of them is on the left-hand side. And when you pull that brake on, e-brake, if you want to go parking brake, they call it back in the day, I think, it automatically shifts it out of gear and puts it in neutral. It's a coordinated thing too.
Yeah. Huh. I've never driven one. I'd like to.
I haven't
like
driven one either, but I know what to look like.
Yeah, I'd like to drive one. It'd be fun. It'd be like learning how to drive all over again.
Yeah.
There's not much, there's not many cars that
my driving instructor was my dad, and it was a Model A Ford. Yeah, I still got to have a Model A Ford 29 model.
That's your dad's?
No.
Oh, you just have one that's the same
I
year.
replaced the one I drove in high school. With a storage
I thought, because I've seen that one, and I was like, I didn't know that was your dad's.
No,
Yeah.
it was just like that. It's the same body style.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. It is all black, of course, but
yeah,
this is 3-tone, I think, or 2-tone.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
It's 3-tone. It's got 2 different colors of green and black fenders. But
doesn't go fast.
No,
but super fun.
I bought a Model B engine, which Model B engines had pressurized lubricant to the crankshaft, whereas at Model A's are just dippers.
Just sloshing around in the oil. Yeah.
And some Model B's had the counterweighted crankshafts too. And I don't know what the B engine I've got, what it does, but I found a man that can do anything with a Model A. He lives over in Lone Grove, Oklahoma. And he got one that he tours, they do tours.
Yeah.
He just said run 55 miles an hour all day long. Mine won't run.
Stopping from 55 might be a little sketchy.
You can get the brake set up right.
Yeah.
But he
on wooden spoke wheels doing 55.
No, it's metal.
Metal wheels. Okay.
No Model A Ford. No Model A's had wooden spokes.
Just T's.
And T's before 1926.
Okay, gotcha. So this is a later model one, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, all the Model A's had metal spokes. And these are the first V8s, of course. 33, 32, 33, 34, 35s, and 36s. And along about 37 and 8, they started press steel wheels.
What size engine do you have? Is it a 6-cylinder flathead?
Oh, 4.
4-cylinder flathead.
40 horsepower, rated at 40 horsepower. Mitch said that he's put a lot of them on dynos, but none of them have ever made over 36 horsepower.
That's like Volkswagens, the air-cooled Volkswagens. They say, oh, the dual port's a, 46 horse or 40 horse or 36 horse, but they don't ever, produce that.
But Mitch has all kinds of tricks to make those Model A's perform, and I'm going to have him go through that Model B engine and swap it out.
Yeah, go a little quicker, a little
Yeah.
faster. All right, well, it's getting dark, and I want to get this stuff picked up before it does get dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the conversation.
Sure.
Thanks for watching, guys, and this is another Conversation with Friends with George Kokendorfer.
Yeah.
So, thanks, George.
You bet.
Nice seeing you. Thanks for coming.
You betcha.
Yeah.